I'm gonna show you the web pos in action. And what I have here in front of me is our LS Nav start, where I have configured few buttons, and among them I'm going to start the web pos now first in full screen. I'm using Chrome browser today with this web pos, but we have tested it as well with Safari and Firefox. In the beginning, before we start to sell, I want to show you our media panel example. Here we have a media panel that is showing different media options that our pos can do. And of course, each part can be full screen if we decide to do so. Here in the middle, I'm showing you a web page. This is our home page of LS Retail Company. Here in the left part, I'm opening a webcam. And now I'm showing you webcam from center of Reykjavik. Not so dark yet here in Iceland. On the right part in top, I'm going to show you an image playlist. These are images that you can set up in your back office system, and it's for some information your staff needs to read or get to know about. This information can be on dual display later, that can be a different image playlist. And also in this part we can play a video, and this video is now located on our home page. And here we have a picture which also can control in your back office system. Next thing I want to do is just to log on to the pos and show you first the Metro look we call. This is our template or base we call Metro. And here we can start to sell items. You can sell items, of course, by scanning in items as usually, or by using buttons, or by looking up items. We can go to item lookup and we can find items there. I'm looking for the tie, and here I have the tie and I'm going to sell it. We can of course as well look and find items by searching for them directly in the input field, and I'm going to select here the bag Linda and put into the sale. You saw with the item that we are using the pop-up menus, and also we have pop-up menus here for the totals, as you can see definition of the total amount. This sale I'm going to close by paying with cash, and then I have a change back. Next pos I want to show you is what we call the supermarket pos, which could be ideal to use in grocery. But as you know, all the setup for pos can be done with our tools. In this pos I have panels that I can open this to allow me to have many items in one panel. And now I have 20 buttons on this panel that can be easily changed to, for example, 60 buttons or whatever you like to have. Because you sell one item, or we can sell 3 items, and etc. Here you have the sale, and I'm going to finish this sale by different currency, this different tender type this time, paying with currency, and I'm going to pay the US dollars, and the system automatically changes the amount depending on the currency rate, and finishing this sale. Next setup I want to show you is what we call the fashion store, or whatever template which fits your needs. And here we have image items on menus, and you can see we can have images on buttons, and we can have many buttons. We can use dynamic menus. These are dynamic menus that can be, you can scroll differently and have different dynamic menus where you have different many pages down here. What I want to do is I want to show you, I'm going to sell the bag Linda, and I want to use recommend for this sale. And here you see that bag Linda is in the basket in the journal. That is our basket, and since we are selling bag Linda, that our recommendation machine recommends these items depending on this item in the basket. We could also put in a member into the sale, And I'm doing that manually now, the card. Of course, normally you would swipe a card or read a QR code from a loyalty app or something like that. And we can also use recommend based on the user in the basket. And now we are recommending it for Stefan Thompson because he's now part of our sale. And you see we are recommending men clothing depending on his sales purchases history. And if I do recommend for the item, then I'm looking at the active item line in the journal, which is the bag Linda, remember? And then we are recommending different set of items. And now I'm going to finish this sale. It is easy to change the setup in the web POS, just as you know from the Windows POS. So if I go in here to men, and you see we are having here 2 columns and 4 rows, 8 buttons in total, I'm going to change it. So we're going to have this time, we're going to have 3 columns, just a little change we're doing, and close, and it changes automatically. It can also be very easy to change the color for a button. So if I go to woman again and I want to change this color here, and I would like to have it maybe similar to the white buttons here, that is the blue color. I am on the jeans button, I right click, and I have the authority to do this because I'm a super user in the system. I go to button properties, and I'm going to find the skin. This is like white, this is behaving like white because I wanted to have the same color, and close. No, this was the font, sorry, I was going to take the skin. I was in the wrong line, but we fix it here. Here it is, white, and close, and then you see, okay, it was supposed to be blue. Something demo syndrome here. Let's continue. Next thing I want to do, I want to change the panel. And take a notice of this column here, how wide it is. I want to change the width for this column. Now it's blue. The button turned out blue. And let's go into panel properties. And this is what I wanted to show you. So here we have, remember this column here I'm going to change. And it was 10%. I'm going to put it up to 20%. And instead, for the last column, column number 6, I'm going to change it down to 10%. And see what happens when I press the close button. This column is now white. So this is what you can do in the web POS, as you know from the Windows POS. It is also possible to open design mode, and again remember, because I am a super user, I have allowance to do that. And now you see the design mode. What is new here is that every control now has a red frame to help you to see the sizes of the controls. And when you take your mouse over them, you will see information. This is the current input. Here we have the journal, and etc. And you even can see the tag names here in those areas which are displaying tags. If I am here in the journal, I can right click and go to control properties, and then you have access to change whatever it has you want to do for the journal grid. And you exit the design mode by right clicking and exit design mode. So back in the POS. Now I want to show you, I'm now using the web POS not in full screen, so you see I am in the browser here. Now what I want to show you, I want to open the simulator, which follows with the Chrome. This is part of Chrome, the simulator. And now you can see my POS as it looks like a Nexus 5X phone. You can change the look and select iPhone, or even we can select the iPad, or even something which I have defined myself in size 900 × 700 pixels. And have a look, you see that the buttons are maybe some of them little too many letters or too big letters here. What I can do I have prepared something. I'm going to log off this post now, and I'm going to log in again as user number 6, because user number 6 has a different style profile on him. It's the same color and same look, apart from that the font size is smaller. So I have created a new post style profile with a smaller font. So now you can view how it would look in this size of a screen. So the LS Nav Pos is currently designed for 7-inch tablets and bigger. And we believe that the phones need to have a responsive solution, meaning that the app needs to behave in a different way than the phone. Now I want to close this and go back to my LS Start program and show you. Here we have LS Start, and I was using it full screen and not full screen. And if I edit this button for you to show you, this is how you can see I was using it with Chrome, and the full screen has these parameters to force it to work as a kiosk and in full screen mode when it started. So this is what I wanted to show you with the Web Pos, different features and functionality.